If you've ever dated or married a Filipina, you might have heard the word tampo. Or maybe you haven't heard it, but you've definitely felt it. One moment everything's fine, the next, silence, distant behavior, a cold shoulder. What just happened? In today's video, we're diving deep into this unique Filipino emotional expression, what it means, why it happens, and most importantly, how you as a foreigner should respond. This isn't about judgment. This is about understanding, adapting, and building a stronger relationship with your Filipino partner. Let's explore the heart of tampo. What is tampo? Tampo is a Filipino cultural behavior where someone expresses emotional withdrawal after feeling hurt, ignored, or disappointed. It's often nonverbal. Your partner might stop talking, avoid eye contact, or act cold. It's not yelling. It's not arguing. It's quiet, but heavy. In Filipino culture, tampo is not seen as passive-aggressive. It's a deeply ingrained way of expressing that one's feelings are hurt without direct confrontation. Many Filipinas grow up with this as a way to communicate displeasure without outright disrespect or emotional explosions. It can stem from things as small as forgetting to text back promptly, not complimenting her appearance, or being too friendly with another woman. But remember, it's rarely about just that one moment. Tampo can build up when emotions are held in. Why is tampo common in the Philippines? Indirect communication. Filipino culture values harmony. Direct confrontation can be seen as rude or disrespectful. Gender roles and emotional expression. Filipinos are often taught from a young age to be demure, to maintain peace, and to avoid outright arguments. Socialization from family life. Tampo is also common in parent-child relationships, friendships, and even work settings. Is tampo childish or normal? From a Western perspective, tampo can seem immature, like emotional sulking or giving the silent treatment. But calling it childish dismisses the cultural context. In the Philippines, it's a normal and expected emotional behavior, even among adults. That said, not all tampo is healthy. When it becomes manipulative, used to guilt trip or control, it can hurt relationships. But in many cases, tampo is more about vulnerability than manipulation. Your partner might feel insecure or afraid to express herself directly. Instead of criticizing tampo, understand it as a request. I need you to notice me, to comfort me, and to understand how I feel. How foreigners usually react to tampo. Many expats experience confusion or frustration with tampo. A common response is to match the silence with silence, or worse, to confront with aggression. What's wrong with you? Or, why are you acting like a child? That only makes things worse. Foreigners often misunderstand tampo because it's the opposite of how many of us were raised to communicate. In the West, we expect open discussion, problem solving, and emotional expression through words. But in the Philippines, emotions are often shown through actions, or in the case of tampo, inaction. The biggest mistake is to ignore it, hoping it will go away on its own. Tampo is not about winning or losing. It's about emotional reassurance. What to do when your Filipina has tampo. Here's what to do when your partner withdraws into tampo mode. Approach her gently. Sit next to her, speak softly, and ask what's wrong. Even if she doesn't reply, your presence is important. Apologize if necessary. Even if you think it's a small issue, apologizing for the misunderstanding can go a long way. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to. See, offer comfort. Sometimes a hug, holding her hand, or doing a kind gesture like bringing her food or writing her a message is enough to break the ice. Give her space, but not too much. Don't smother her, but don't abandon her either. Check in gently. Reassure her emotionally. Many tampo moments stem from insecurity. You're important to me, or I care about you can heal more than you think. When tampo becomes toxic. While tampo is part of the culture, some individuals use it manipulatively to control behavior, guilt trip, or emotionally punish. The pabibi culture and feminine softness in Filipino courtship. Many foreigners don't realize that tampo is part of a broader Filipino dating dynamic often referred to as pabibi, a cutesy, playful, emotionally tender approach to romance. This includes things like wanting to be reassured often, showing jealousy in a subtle way, needing small romantic gestures or tokens of love. Real-life scenario. Lars from Sweden shared how his girlfriend gave him the cold shoulder because he didn't comment on her new haircut. For her, it wasn't vanity, it was about being noticed and appreciated. Advice: embrace the playfulness without dismissing it. What seems childish might just be culturally encoded affection. Advice for foreigners in relationships with Filipinas: learn the culture, read books, watch local shows, talk to locals. Be patient. Emotional language can differ, respect it. Practice sympathy. Even if tempo frustrates you, understand where it comes from. Communicate calmly. Don't confront with heat, respond with heart. Build trust. Over time, the need for tempo may lessen as she feels safer with direct communication. Is tempo a sign of immaturity or love? Some might say tempo is immature, but in many Filipino relationships, it's simply a way to show vulnerability. It's a soft protest, a silent cry for attention, validation, or affection. Handled with patience and understanding, tempo can be an opportunity to show love and build emotional intimacy. Tempo is not the enemy. It's just another language of love. Silent treatment or emotional reset, understanding the emotional depth behind tempo. While foreigners may interpret tempo as passive-aggressive or manipulative, Filipinos often see it as a silent emotional response, a non-confrontational way to communicate disappointment. Real-life scenario: James, a Canadian expat, forgot his Filipina girlfriend's birthday. He remembered only the day after and apologized. But instead of yelling or crying, she just went quiet. No texts, no calls. When they finally spoke, she said, "You didn't make me feel special. I needed time." This shows that tempo isn't always about getting attention. Sometimes it's about emotional regulation. Filipinos may have grown up in households where open confrontation was discouraged, so silence becomes their coping tool. Helpful tip: don't pressure her to snap out of it. Give her space and then gently check in. It's about emotional validation, not problem solving right away. How to differentiate between healthy tempo and emotional manipulation. While tempo is common and culturally accepted, not all behavior labeled as tempo is healthy. If the pattern becomes constant punishment, withholding affection for long periods, or manipulative tactics, then it's time to set boundaries. Checklist for healthy versus toxic tempo. Healthy: she withdraws quietly but returns when approached with kindness. Toxic: she threatens to break up every time you disagree or uses guilt as control. Foreigners should ask, is she expressing hurt or trying to control me? Helpful tip: communication is key. Say, "I respect your feelings, but I need to understand what I did. Help me fix it." Set clear expectations about emotional openness. Teach and learn, encouraging mutual cultural awareness. Sometimes tempo stems from cultural misalignment. She expects you to know the signs and act accordingly, but you don't. And you expect her to just say it, but that's not how she was raised. What to do? Have emotional culture conversations early in the relationship. Read about each other's communication styles. Role-play scenarios and how you both respond differently. Activities that can ease or prevent tempo. Sometimes a little consistent love prevents tempo from even happening. Here are everyday activities to deepen emotional connection and reduce misunderstandings. Surprise her with her favorite merienda. Write handwritten notes, not just texts. Make time for us conversations, not just logistical chats. Learn some Tagalog or Bisaya and speak it casually. These small actions tell her you see her, which can prevent the silence from starting in the first place. Tempo is a cultural love language. Learn it, don't fight it. To a foreigner, tempo might feel like emotional warfare. But to many Filipinos, it's how they say, "I'm hurting, and I want you to care enough to ask why." If you treat tempo as a puzzle instead of a problem, you'll find your relationship becomes more emotionally rich. If you're dating or married to a Filipina, tempo is something you'll experience at some point. It can be frustrating, yes, but also deeply human. Understanding tempo can help you connect better, love stronger, and avoid unnecessary misunderstandings. So don't fight it, learn from it. Thank you for watching, and if this helped you better understand Filipino culture, hit that like button, subscribe for more cultural insights, and share this video with someone who's dating a Filipina. Until next time.